Hello, once again, this is Antonio, and I'm coming at you with another exciting video. Now, just imagine you home, you're doing what you're supposed to do, and without a warrant, police burst in your home and they arrest you. Now, you know that's a violation of rights, but because cops have immunity, some police forces will have their back, and a lot of it's not. I can't say a lot. In some cases, you have DAs and judges that behave as their lawyers to tell you reasons why this is the way it's going to be. Now, there are, for some people, just different set of rules for some people. And that's just the way it is. And what we're going to have to do is find out why are there different sets of rules for different people and what can we do about this. But nevertheless, I can't pronounce his name, the city. He files a lawsuit after police storm home, arrest him without warrant. It's bad, people. I don't like it.
Lorain County man files a federal lawsuit against the Elyria Police Department after 3 officers stormed into his home without a warrant. He was tased, arrested, and charged with multiple felonies, but his attorney says the officers are the ones who broke the law. 19 investigator Mike Mason broke this story. He has the very latest for us tonight.
Raul Ortiz says he's still traumatized by how Elyria police officers treated him last year. Now he hopes this lawsuit will finally hold the EPD accountable for what they did.
And then I see the cops right here.
Raul Ortiz is suing the Elyria Police Department and each of the 3 officers who stormed into his home and arrested him without a warrant. The lawsuit filed this week states the officers broke the law by maliciously assaulting Ortiz.
I want reprimand. I want officers put in jail. I want them to experience what I experienced.
The incident happened last May when Ortiz's ex-girlfriend, Brittany Warner, told officers she needed help getting back into his house to retrieve her belongings. Officer Paige Mitchell's body cam video shows police going to the home, but Ortiz refuses to let them in. Mitchell can then be heard suggesting to Warner she can kick in the door.
You've lived here, so if you want to kick the door in and go and get your stuff, you're more than welcome to. Deadbolt box. Any door can be kicked in, depending on how hard you work on it.
When Warner kicks the door open, officers walk in behind her.
Get off!
Mitchell tases Ortiz even after telling officers he has a heart condition. Ortiz was arrested and charged with 5 felonies.
They had no right to even go up there and grab him and arrest him and cuff him.
His attorney, Anthony Nisi, obtained Mitchell's body cam footage and filed a motion to dismiss.
We showed up for a pre-trial and the prosecutor said we dismissed the charges.
Ortiz's attorneys have now filed a federal lawsuit against the EPD. It claims the officers' actions were intentional, malicious, willful, wanton, and oppressive, and in deliberate disregard for the rights of Ortiz. It goes on to say the EPD has a documented history of failing to train its personnel, thereby resulting in violations of Ortiz's constitutional rights.
Say to this person, go kick the door in. We can't. What were you thinking?
Nisi says Warner had no right entering the home since she had already moved out.
I mean, when they came in there doing it traumatized me.
Plus, this was a civil matter and Mitchell had no right telling Warner what to do.
If it wouldn't have been for my attorney knowing the law as good as he is, I would have been stuck.
These officers were not disciplined for this incident. Elyria's police chief declined to comment. We also contacted the city's mayor and his administration, plus each council member, but so far, none have responded. In the newsroom, Mike Mason, 19 News.
If you've ever looked at those massive...
Now, that's some straight up BS. The lady already moved out. She wanted her stuff. He was probably being petty. Let's be honest. But at the end of the day, you telling this lady to kick this man door in? He tells you I have a heart condition and you tase him anyway? And not one person was punished? Now that really burns my bacon. That burns my bacon. The Lorain County man has filed a federal lawsuit against the Elyria Police Department after 3 officers stormed into his home and arrested him without a warrant. Raul Ortiz was tased, arrested, and charged with multiple felonies on May 11, 2023. But his attorney said the officers are the ones who broke the law. You dang on right they broke the law. You are telling a lady to kick the door in because you stay there, but to come to find out she did not stay there because she already moved out. I mean, when they came in doing it, it traumatized me, said Ortiz. The lawsuit filed this week states that the officers broke the law by maliciously assaulting Ortiz. I want reprimands. I want officers to be put in jail, said Ortiz. I want them to experience what I experienced. That female cop should never tell a citizen to kick a man's door in because in some states you got the right to stand your ground. And you see what happened in Florida when the cop bammed on that door, moved away from the peephole, he grabbed his Glock. The cop shot him six times in about 30 seconds or less. Just because a person has a gun in the hand, the gun wasn't trained on the cop. He didn't have permission to kill an innocent man. And the same thing could have happened in this situation. The incident happened when Ortiz's ex-girlfriend, Brittany Warner, told officers she needed help getting back into this house to retrieve her belongings. Officer Paige Mitchell's body cam video shows police agreeing to help by driving out to meet her at Ortiz's home. One officer could be seen knocking on the door, but Ortiz refused to let them in, which is his right as a citizen of America. Mitchell can then be heard suggesting to Warner that she has the right to kick in the door. You've lived here, so if you want to kick in the door, go in and get your stuff, you are more than welcome to, said Mitchell. He's got a deadbolt lock, Warner replied. Any door can be kicked in depending on how hard you work on it, suggested Mitchell. Now she became Judge Dredd on the side of the road. She became Judge Dredd on the side of the road. Warner then kicks the door open as officers Coty Hirsch and Chris Lewis walk in behind her. They walk upstairs following Warner. Hirsch draws his gun. Soon after, a scuffle between officers and Ortiz can be heard by Mitchell's body cam. Mitchell then begins walking upstairs to the second floor landing. Mitchell tases Ortiz. That's what she wanted to do. She wanted to do that for the lady. Absolutely. Despite the fact he keeps telling officers about his heart condition. I got a heart monitor. Ortiz can be heard shouting frantically. By the time it was over, Ortiz would be arrested and charged with 5 felonies. They had no right to even go up there and grab him, arrest him, and cuff him, said Ortiz's attorney Anthony Nicky. When Nicky obtained Mitchell's body cam footage, he quickly filed a motion to dismiss. He showed up for pretrial, and the prosecutor said, "We dismissed the charges," said Nicky. You dang on right you dismissed the charges. Should have been no charges in the first place. Ortiz's attorney have now filed a federal civil rights lawsuit against Elyria Police Department and each of the 3 officers individually. The suit claims the officers' actions were intentional, malicious, willful, wanton, and oppressive, and in deliberate disregard for the rights of the plaintiff. The lawsuit goes on to state the EPD has a documented history of failing to train its personnel. Therefore, resulting in violations of the plaintiff's constitutional rights. Say to the person, go kick the door in? We can't, said Nikki scornfully. What were you thinking? No, you weren't thinking, Mitchell. Mitchell should she should be punished and jailed for those actions. That is ridiculous and asinine. Nikki says Warner had no right entering the home to begin with since she had already moved out. Something officers would have known if they had first contacted the homeowner. I mean, when they came in doing it, it traumatized me, said Ortiz. Nikki says this also a civil matter, and Mitchell had no right telling Warner what to do. Ortiz said he was facing up to 30 years in prison if convicted for the 5 felonies he was initially charged with. If it wasn't for my attorney knowing the law as good as he is, I would have been stuck, said Ortiz. 19 investigators reviewed the officers' personnel files and found they were not disciplined for this incident. There was no evidence the incident was even investigated. Elyria Police Chief William Pelko declined to comment on this incident other than to say the body cam videos from the other 2 officers were not saved due to oversight. Now, this is terrible. This is when police needs overseers. What happens when the police got to oversee each other? Things don't go right. But nevertheless, this is Antonio with Team Tiggio. Please like, comment, subscribe, as we'll be coming to you with more videos in the future. And once again, we will see you in the next video.